You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You sit down for a huge exam, you've studied for weeks, you read that first question, and then nothing. Your mind just goes completely blank. Your heart starts racing, and it feels like every single thing you learned has just vanished into thin air. It is so frustrating. But what if I told you there's a way to build a mental shield against that panic? It all starts with this kind of weird question. Why does our brain, our modern, super evolved brain, look at a piece of paper and react like it's a lion about to pounce? Seriously, figuring out this bizarre biological mix-up is actually the first step to getting back in the driver's seat. So before we can build our shield, we first have to understand the beast we're up against. Let's break down why an exam can feel like such a primal threat. Here's the deal. Our brains are basically running on some very, very old software. The part that's in charge of keeping us alive, it really doesn't see the difference between a calculus exam and a saber-toothed tiger. To that ancient part of your brain, high stakes just means danger, period. And this little guy is the culprit, the amygdala. You can think of it as your brain's ancient and frankly, overeager security guard. The moment it senses a threat, any threat, it yanks the fire alarm. This floods your system with stress hormones, and that kicks off the classic fight, flight, or, in this case, the one we all know too well, the freeze response. And that's the real heart of the problem. Your amygdala unleashes just one powerful, primitive response. It's a system built for physical survival, not for navigating complex problems. So it actually shuts down your higher-level thinking right when you need it the most. Okay, so the problem is our ancient brain wiring. So what's the solution? Well, we fight back with a system that's actually designed for the modern world. It's time to build what we're going to call the Stoic Shield. Now, this isn't some vague advice like, oh, just try to relax. No way. This is a real, concrete, two-part system. It's designed to intentionally calm down that ancient brain and get your modern, logical brain back online. It's a tool you can actually count on when the pressure hits. So, our shield has two layers. First, we have to deal with the physical panic with a technique called Zazen Stillness. It's all about using simple focus and breathing to calm your body down. Then, once that physical storm is under control, we bring in a powerful tool for the mind, the three-step decoder. And this order is absolutely crucial. You have to manage the body before you can get a handle on the mind. This is exactly why you can't just think your way out of a panic attack. It doesn't work. Your body is already in full-on fight or flight mode. So the first move, always, is to deal with the physiology, to calm that physical storm. And that is the entire job of Zazen Stillness. And look, this isn't just about feeling calm. It's about literally changing your brain chemistry. The goal is to physically lower your cortisol levels. That's the main stress hormone. At the same time, you're boosting your alpha brainwaves, which neuroscientists have linked directly to that feeling of relaxed focus. You're basically sending a message to that amygdala that says, hey, stand down, we're good, there's no lion here. All right, so once the body is calm and the lion has backed off, we can move to the second layer of our shield. This is where we completely reframe the situation and make the shift from panic to performance. This right here is the entire strategy in one picture. On the left, you've got the lion response. Your amygdala is running the show, cortisol is high, and it all leads to panic. But on the right, that's the puzzle mindset. Here, your prefrontal cortex is engaged, cortisol is down, and you get focus and clarity. Our whole job is to get ourselves from the left side of this chart to the right. And that's it. That's the whole game. The entire purpose of the Stoic Shield is to consciously guide your brain away from reacting to the lion and toward engaging with the puzzle. You are actively transforming what feels like a threat into what's actually just an interesting challenge. So, how do you actually do that? You know, when you're staring at some crazy, complicated question? Well, we use a simple, repeatable tool that's designed for exactly this moment, the three-step decoder. The three-step decoder is your game plan. Step 1, don't get bogged down in all the scary words. Take that dense, intimidating paragraph and just turn it into a simple sketch or a diagram. Step 2, pull out the facts. What numbers or values are you actually given? Just list them out. And finally, step 3, rephrase the main question in the simplest way you can. What are they really asking you to do here? When it comes down to it, you're not changing the question at all. You're just changing how you see it. You're taking something that feels like an attack, and you're methodically breaking it down into small, manageable parts. You're decoding the threat into a simple puzzle. And you know, this whole model isn't just for exams. Think about it. A difficult conversation, a big presentation at work, a tough project. Our brains love to label all sorts of things as lions. The real takeaway here is learning how to see them differently. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. What other lions in your life are actually just puzzles waiting for you to decode them?